Okay, now before I start this video, I just like to proclaim that I don't usually make these type of videos going over like certain situations that comes from communities and such, so don't really expect that much documentary videos from me. Anyways, I think it's about time somebody makes an actual video on this because I feel like this is kinda getting out of hand and probably majority of the FE2 community is probably upset, so let's get into it. If you guys don't know what FE2 or Floodscape 2 is, it's a game on Roblox which is the sequel to Floodscape 1 or Floodscape Classic, which are both made by Crazy Blocks. Now you may be wondering, what problem is Floodscape 2 having right now and why maybe majority of the community is upset? Well, to answer that, it's something to do with the OSTs or soundtracks of FE2, and you might be thinking, well, what's the problem with the soundtracks? Well, 2 months ago, Crazy Blocks released a video called Floodscape 2 Soundtrack Remastered, and apparently the video was just both part 1 and part 2 of the soundtracks combined. And the funny thing about this is that all of the soundtracks sound exactly the same as how they were all uploaded separately. So I don't know what's the deal with adding remastered in the title, but okay. But this video was uploaded as a gift of FE2's 5th anniversary to the entire FE2 community, and some people were happy, some were not, and some people thought FE2 was ending, which it's not. It's not ending, guys. So what Crazy Blocks did is he put all of the FE2 soundtracks on Spotify, which I think some people wanted. Now if you have Spotify, then you can listen to all of the FE2 soundtracks on there, but when Crazy Blocks put all of the soundtracks on Spotify, I don't know if it was Crazy Blocks or Inner Street Recordings or some random person that did this part, but either Crazy Blocks, Inner Street Recordings, or some random person copyright claimed majority of videos that used FE2 soundtracks, even FE2 videos alone. And majority of the FE2 community is probably upset about this. Even me, man, I'm just personally pissed about this. Now don't get me wrong about Crazy Blocks if he did this. I respect the dude, I get it. He's been working on the Floodscape series for over a decade at this point, even though he lacks with updates to the game alone. But if he did do this, I'm not saying he 100% did this, but if he did copyright claim majority of FE2 videos, and all of the soundtracks are copyrighted, then why is it on Roblox in the first place? If you don't recall, Roblox did an audio update that purged pretty much all of the audios. This is so Roblox can get rid of copyright claimed music so they don't get sued. And the thing about that is, it's been 8 months since that happened, and it's still not resolved, despite the fact that Roblox decided to add new music, but even though some of the new music is probably copyrighted. But we're getting off topic. Now if you recall, 3 new FE2 maps were released in the game about over a month ago. And the thing about that is, all 3 of those FE2 maps don't have their own soundtrack yet. Do keep in mind that currently the new maps have placeholder soundtracks since they don't have their own soundtrack yet. But however, Ignis Peaks did have its own custom soundtrack, which has been around for 2 years at this point. And Domino, the composer of the soundtrack, is aware that the map was added in the game, so he's currently working on remastering the soundtrack. But that's besides the matter, because after the 3 recent maps get their own soundtrack, they are probably going to be copyright claimed, just like the rest of the OSTs, and probably more future maps coming into the game altogether, which is very frustrating considering the FE2 community has admired the soundtracks for 5 years of it being brought up to this point. And honestly, after seeing what happened, this is probably the worst possible way of gifting your community like this. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I felt like covering this since nobody else ever made like a full-on video explaining the situation. And given the fact this situation has been going on for about 3 months at this point, and it's kind of frustrating. Do note that I'm not trying to pressure Crazy Blocks or have him get hate. No, I'm just trying to explain this whole situation. If I did leave out some things that I didn't include, let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe since we're really close to 1K subscribers, and I appreciate it if you subscribed. Anyways, that's all, and thanks for watching.